Okay, you get the play of words there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the air.
There.
But telling someone they should or they ought to, in a way is helping them to feel attacked.
Right.
Am I answering your question? Does it go deeper than that? It sounds like this is someone that you're concerned about. You want them to go to meetings, meaning AA meetings.
Yes, 12-step meetings.
Hmm.
And we can go a step further. I mean, I'm dealing with it. This person is oversensitive at the moment. They're very sensitive, very self-conscious, very defensive. It's like anything I say is wrong. Anything I say. So it's like I have to approach this.
So Milt, just stop you for a moment. You're saying something very, very important. We all are sensitive at times. On some days, at some times of the day, we're more sensitive than others. And sometimes we're very, very overly sensitive, depending, maybe we didn't get a lot of sleep, a lot of things happened to us last week. So all of us, all human beings can be overly sensitive at times.
Right.
I would suggest, Milt, that you treat him and respect his oversensitivity. So you can never really go wrong when you think that you're talking to an overly sensitive person. You sort of will tend to edit yourself a little bit and think about what needs to be said instead of blurting out quickly what you want to say. So I respect the fact that you're thinking about him as overly sensitive and therefore choosing your words more carefully. That's a great thing, Milt. That's a great thing that you're doing. He seems to be overly sensitive. Fine. Allow him to be overly sensitive now, but talk to him sensitively.
Hmm. Yeah, what I'm basically doing now is just doing a lot of listening, letting him vent. I think that's what's needed now. Let him vent and get
Well,
things off his chest.
actually, Milt, I have another idea for you, okay? I see that you're a very caring person, and this is a family member, you say, right?
Yes.
Okay, sometimes it's not in the best interest of the relationship to let someone vent on and on and on and on and on. Because sometimes what could happen is that person now starts to see you as vent receptacle,
Right.
and you become the one to vent too. So when this person has a hard time on the job, or with a friend, or with a spouse, whoever it is, they won't vent, they won't say something in the moment, they'll come to you and vent. And pretty soon it's going to be a very tiring job for you
Hmm.
to sit and listen, and eventually they may even wind up losing respect for you because they get to vent, you get to listen. It's a one-way relationship. You're being used to a degree, they're using you to a degree.
Hmm.
It's possible they can lose respect. So when someone goes on and vents, then they start to go on and on more and vent, and pretty soon they're using you as
Soundboard.
a venting pincushion, okay?
Right.
So sometimes when someone goes on and on venting, sometimes you need to cut them off. Sometimes. I don't know your situation, really.
Hmm.
So sometimes when, actually, a friend asked me this question a couple of months ago, that she has a friend that whenever she's going through something, she calls her and vents and says, and anyway, she's tired of listening to this, so doesn't know what to do. So my suggestion to her, a relational science suggestion, was
Hmm.
that when your friend goes on and on for a couple of minutes and you see that that's what this conversation is going to be about, you can stop them and say, oh yeah, listen, make up a name, listen, Murgatroyd, I'm glad you talked about, your arthritis, because I went to the doctor and he told me that I might have to take an MRI. What happens with people like this sometimes is that when they start hearing you talk, they want to get off the line. They want to get away. So sometimes that's needed to protect your boundaries, to not allow people to vent. Sometimes it's best, if they need to vent, to go to a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, in Alcoholics Anonymous, to go to a sponsor. One of the best places to vent might be at an AA meeting, or a rabbi or a priest or someone. But to have several people to vent to, if you become the only one that's used as a vent release, there may wind up being problems, even though you're coming from a place in your heart that I can see that you want to be helpful.
That's true.
So I'm not saying don't let them vent, but when they go on too long, in a sense, are they now vomiting onto you? Are they now rubbing off their problems onto you?
Well, what happened? Okay? I'll give you something that just happened yesterday. This person actually blew up and screamed at me and then apologized a minute later, but screamed at me. They're like, how can I say this?
Impulsive.
Yeah, they're compulsive. This person is
and
compulsive.
Impulsive too.
He just
yes.
blew up on me.
Uh-huh.
And then he caught himself, but he just blew up on me out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
He was helping me fold some laundry, and I was like anticipating whether I should take this out the dryer or keep this in the dryer.
Right.
And he just blew up on me, and then he apologized. But we're starting to get, sometimes we get into little arguments. So I could see where.
What do you argue about when What do you argue about when he blows up at you?
Just for small things. For small things, and
he blows up a lot.
Yeah, he blows up a lot, and then he tells me, well, not a lot, every now and then he tells me, he apologizes and says that because he's going through a lot, which I.
And what do you do when he apologizes?
I accept his apology. And.
Milt?
Yes.
How about I show you an interesting trick?
Okay.
A trick. Okay. This is not meant, by the way, to the viewing audience, this is not meant as psychological advice. This is not meant as psychotherapeutic advice or medical doctor advice or whatever, or social worker advice. The show is purely for entertainment, so I want to show you a trick, okay?
Okay.
And no one can come and sue me next week, all right? You wouldn't sue me, would you, Milt?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, Milt. I like you even more, Milt. Okay.
Thanks.
When someone blows up from time to time at you, number one, Milt, it's a good sign that this person apologizes very quickly. That's a good sign, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we see that they are impulsive, but behind that impulsivity, they seem to care enough about you to come and say they're sorry, they apologize. Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. One of the ways that the trick in which you can stop this impulsivity and him blowing up at you is to explore why he did that. So how about this? How about we role play for a minute, okay, Milt? Do you know how to role play?
Sure.
You be him and I'll be Milt, okay?
All right.
So now come to me and apologize, all right? Go ahead.
I'm sorry for screaming at you like that. I just have a lot on my mind. I had a bad day. I'm sorry.
I understand, Murgatroyd. I'm making up this name. Oh, Murgatroyd, I understand that you care about me. I know that you respect me. I know that you didn't mean that. And I appreciate your apology. I see that you respect me. I appreciate the apology. But actually, Murgatroyd, I have a question for you. Now, Milt, do you see my face?
Yes.
I'm putting on a very inviting face, okay?
Right.
So I accepted the apology. Do you notice what I slipped into? My response to him was about, I know that you respect me. I know that you didn't mean it. When I enter those words into his consciousness, he will start to believe that, oh, yes, he does respect me. Oh, yes, he didn't mean truly to blow up at me. You see? What I'm doing, Milt, is I am creating a certain value of myself in his consciousness. I'm assigning a value to him of me. I don't know if I said that right syntactically, but so I slipped that in there. And now, here comes the question. So, Murgatroyd, I appreciate your apology. I know that you didn't mean that. I know you care about me. But I have a question for you. And Murgatroyd says, yeah, what is it? Okay, well, Murgatroyd, here's what I'm thinking. You respect me enough to come back and apologize, but I wonder why it's that easy to, I don't know, blow up at me. Is there something I'm doing? Is there something I shouldn't do? Because, I know that you didn't mean it. It does hurt when you do it, Is there something I should do differently?
Right.
So I'm going to have to go in a minute, but you see what I've done.
Yeah.
I have not told them not to do it anymore. I haven't made a big dramatic thing, but I have left them with a question that they may now think about later on or as they fall asleep or tomorrow. The question might be, oh, I wonder why I do that to him. I never thought about it until Milt asked me.
Wow.
Okay, and now Milt asked me, is there something that I should do differently? Is it something that I'm doing, Murgatroyd?
Right.
I never thought about it. I wonder, is it something he's doing, or I wonder if it's something I'm doing? So what you're doing is you're building into the relationship thoughtfulness about you, so that you're not someone that's taken lightly. You've entered some new things, concepts into the relationship.
And that could be good for the both of us, yeah.
Well, it's good for you because you're establishing boundaries gently
Right.
and taking care of yourself. And you're teaching this person in an incognito way
Hmm.
that you are someone to be thought about. You're someone to be taken seriously. He may not get it right away, or she may not get it right away, but you're building layer upon layer. You're planting seeds, Milt.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Milt. It was good to talk to you. Please call back again. We need callers like you, intelligent callers with intelligent questions, and actually, you make me look smart, and like I want you to call back for that. Okay, Milt?
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
All right, take care, Milt. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, how are we doing time-wise? We have about 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. So, I want to send you guys to the blog because I'm doing something different on the blog. If you go to it this week, you'll see it. Oh, how can I tell you the address of the blog? What is the address of the blog? You're gonna have to email me at this. You're gonna have to email me if you know. I'm not gonna. Here I am saying you're gonna have to email me. Anyone that emails me at this address, not calling me at this number because this number is only functional from 8:30 until 9. When I go off the air, I no longer answer this phone. So this is the way to reach me. Email me, and I will send you the link to my blog. And some of the things I started doing on a blog is some things that I want to do here. I got a suggestion from one of the viewers was to put up relationship quotes. And I like that idea a lot. And I'll read up how much time I have. 3 minutes. My producer, my terrific producer, Donna, is telling me that I have 3 minutes. You're going to meet Donna one of these days. 2 minutes now. All right. Aristotle said, fine friendship requires duration rather than fitful intensity. Some people start really quick and then they fade out. So true friendship is all about duration, okay? Here's another one. It's not enough to love those who are near and dear to us. We must show them that we do so. That's anonymous. I don't know who said that. No, actually, that was Lord Eric Avebury. I'm not pronouncing that right, but that's a beautiful one. Which reminds me of a quote that you can attribute to Jerry Siegel. A Jerry Siegel quote is, love is as love does. So if I love you and call you names and treat you badly, it's not what I say that I love, it's what my actions are showing. And another one that we can attribute to Jerry Siegel, this is a Jerry Siegel quote, I made this one up. Better than being loved is being treated lovingly, okay? And that's, my producer says that's her favorite, and that's one of my favorites too. You can love me all you want. You can love me till the cows come home. But if you love me so much and you treat me like garbage, forget about it. We have 1 minute left. So if you don't love me, but treat me with respect, you treat me with kindness, you treat me with generosity, that means a lot. So in our lives, it's not as important to tell others that we love them. Those are nice words. But to treat them lovingly. And so let me know what you think of these quotes. I got one more by George MacDonald. I don't know who that is, but he says, to be trusted is a greater compliment than to be loved. So we're going to wrap it up. Come back next week. You'll hear about the blog. Email me over here. And let me know what you'd like to talk about. And thanks for the callers for calling in today. Thank you, Milt, for your very, very insightful and deep questions. And I will be here next week waiting for you. Will you be here next week waiting for me? Okay, folks, thanks again for calling.